Hello to all of my Leos. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your Sunday reading. This reading is for December 3rd through through January 3rd, 2024. You may be watching this video on Saturday the 2nd, but this is for the 3rd of December. Let's get it. Let's see what your cards have to say. Remember, Leos, we are still in a cycle, right? So we had a full moon in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, like Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is that planet of messages, like the messenger, the communication planet, the knowledge and learning planet, the language planet, the many different ways that people communicate to you, and what messages do you send out to the universe, and how do you receive messages, whether they verbal, non-verbal, gesture, electronic messages like via text message, social media, those kind of things. Let's get it. Let's see what your cards have to say. Somebody's having a tower moment. All right. So when I look at your cards here, a tower moment is just really, it can be a gentle reminder to focus on your purpose. It literally can be that, or it can feel like everything is crashing down because somebody is just like, okay, I am almost like I'm getting all these messages, these reminders, and I keep looking back at the past. See these two swords right here? Sources say you've already picked up the other swords, right? Whatever the reminders were. But the Seven of Swords is really more about how it's really exposing us to ourselves versus exposing somebody else. Like basically saying, okay, you could say somebody else outside of yourself is holding on to secrets, or that they are whatever, low vibrational, whatever thoughts, or it exposes how you feel. Like that full moon, usually when you see this card, this particular deck, you don't see it, but see how the person keeps looking back, and somebody is like, okay, it's a form of self-sabotage, is to keep looking back when source, like this energy right here, these energies just keep looking back. And source is saying to you, it's time to get on your horse, and it's time for you to move on from something. Here's the Six of Wands. And again, so the tower moment could feel like the tower has either fallen on you, or the tower moment could feel like it fell away from you, because this is right here, the connected to the planet Mars. And Mars is the energy planet. It's that fighting spirit planet. It's that competitive or competition planet. It's really where you put your energy, right? It's that right in that same area, sexual energy, non-sexual energy, but where are you putting your energy, right? So source is saying everything is lining up perfectly for you. It looks like there's a lot of people who look up to you. So it's something else. It's two situations in particular. Source does not want you to go back through a wilderness situation with it. Source, it keeps saying, walk away, move on, stop talking about it. Everything else is lining up for you. And so don't let the pre-shadow Mercury retrograde throw you off, because it's like a pre-test, right? Mercury isn't officially retrograde until December 13th, I believe. Yeah, December 13th, I believe. So right now it went pre-shadow retrograde. So think like pre-test, right? Pre-shadow retrograde on the 25th of November. Yeah. Yep. So that tower moment. So source is saying, if you're waiting on something to happen that source keeps telling you to move on from, it's hard for you to see. Imagine looking back like this and you can't see that the tower is falling, right? When you move on from some things, source is saying, hey, I got the blessings, and I got some blessings for you in front of you, putting you back in the spotlight, putting you back in the shadow. Putting you back in the spotlight to some degree, victoriously. So I do see somebody eventually saying, I need to move on from something. I need to move on from something. And so sometimes for my fixed signs, that's your sign, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, sometimes that tower moment feels like, oh my God, like what in the world? Yeah, because all those messages are coming through. So Source definitely wants you to remove two situations off of your internal scales that's been causing some kind of deep emotional feeling about some things, and toss it into a burning bowl. Whatever's been disrupting somebody's peace, Source wants you to toss it into a burning bowl. It's almost like, if you can think of it this way, you're writing a letter, saying to Source, not to whoever is, you feel like their words are action. It's like the sword of truth. Like the truth of the matter is that I need to move on from something, right? Because I don't want this tower to fall on me. I don't want all hell breaking loose on me. Here we have the Queen of Swords. I do see you carefully sitting on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts. And then also the King of Swords, you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge about a lot of things. And again, this is where you take action. This is where somebody says, I'm not carrying something that somebody said or did into my next blessing, my next wealthy place. So I see this right here. I need to toss it into a burning bowl and see, this is fire and this is fire, right? This is the sun. This obviously is fire. Obviously you're a fire sign. So that's how you're cleansing by fire and recharging by fire. So somebody may be doing some kind of a ceremony on a beach, or even meditating. Where's the card? Even meditating where you're envisioning yourself on a beach and you're kind of sort of just tossing all of that stuff into a fire pit, because somebody could feel like another fire sign also plays some role, like an Aries, because this card right here is connected to Aries. This card right here is connected to Aries. So somebody could say, whoever the two situations are that initiated something, somebody could have initiated something that you're finally saying, I need to walk away from this. I need to spring forward and not fall back into something, right? And what may help you is your soulmate. You have somebody has a soulmate that's helping you through it, right? So 2 and 8 is 10. 10 is the number for instant manifestation. Source wants you to keep on moving forward. This is also 3. 3 and 6 obviously is 9. So it's two situations in particular. For you, it's a dead issue. 6 and 3 is 9. We also have the 9 of Swords here. So Source is saying, don't return back to those two situations. That you may feel like people are lost or confused or whatever the situation is. Source says move on with your life. The more you talk about it, the more you're breathing life into it. So even if somebody else were to bring something up and you're saying, I'm trying to get that off of my internal scales, I need to move on from this. I need to move on. So there could be a Scorpio involved as well, because the Tower card is attached to Mars. Mars rules one of Scorpio's ruling planets and is Aries ruling planet. So there could be a Scorpio or an Aries or something where it feel like some of the feelings somebody may have about it is not only just some words or actions cut deep, but it was so toxic and unhealthy for you. Just like, I need to detach from it altogether, right? I need to detach from it altogether. The good thing about this particular cycle though, Leo, is messages came through so clear. They could have felt like somebody was like literally in the room with you when you woke up in the morning. So you want to start jotting those things down. Here we have High Priestess energy. Here we have the 4 of Wands. Here we have the 2 of Wands, the King of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Magician card. Somebody may be going to a psychic to get some answers for some things, which is definitely is advisable when you're during the full moon. Things are fully illuminated. You may be getting a psychic, and then they may be telling you move on from something that's not your responsibility. You're going to feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of your shoulders. And on top of that, for you, you may feel like also you have room for two other blessings. So that could be a house, it could be an increase on your job, something. 2 blessings are coming through, and somebody has a lot of ideas. And so these ideas, Source wants you to use those ideas to move forward. That's why you have this 3 and 6 is 9, and then you got 9 as well. 4 is the earth number, right? So the reason why somebody's going to move on from something is after you having your Tower moment, this awakening, because that's really what it is. You're having an awakening that I have a purpose on this planet and I'm focusing on my purpose. And these 2, 9 is the death rebirth number. I'm moving on from that, so it doesn't cause me to be resentful or even tyrannical. I need to move on from something and not look back, right? And that's what Source is trying to tell somebody. So here we also have the 8 of Wands. Source is actually going to speed up some blessings to you because of your obedience. Because you said, okay, I can move beyond this. I need to move on. Here we have the Magician card. So you're getting very clear messages. Somebody is telling you, whether it's this reading or somebody else is saying, look, you have the whole world in front of you. This is the 2 of Wands. 2 and 8 obviously is 10. 10 is the number for instant manifestation. So if you're telling yourself, remember, we're talking about communication. This is the beauty of this particular cycle. And we're coming up on the last quarter moon phase. Currently, we're in a waning gibbous moon phase. Whatever you're speaking out into the universe, I can get past this. I can move on from this. I see clearly. I'm not going back to overthinking this. I'm not carrying this into December. I'm not carrying this into 2024 with me. I'm going to move on from this. Okay. So that's the beauty of having soulmate, soul community. Maybe, like I said, somebody may have gotten a reading from somebody to say, just move on from this. Like I said, 2 and 8 is 10. Is what you're expressing emotionally. What are you saying out of your mouth? Everything else is lining up perfectly for you. And that's God's reward for somebody, is just move on. You're in a leadership position. A lot of people look up to you, and it's time to move on from something. So congratulations to you. We also have the King of Emotions. Somebody has become a lot wiser about on their spiritual journey. It looks like you too have a lot of Leos, a lot of spiritual gifts, right? And so here we have the Ace of Hearts. And which is why something could have been super sensitive to you. But we remember, you, me, other people aren't the only one with spiritual gifts. There's a whole lot of stars in the sky that's helping to illuminate the world. So, and that moon exposes everybody's feelings about other people's gifts, but more importantly, it exposes your feelings about your own gifts. And Source is saying you do have a lot of spiritual gifts. You definitely want to use them for good. Never want to use them for evil, because karma doesn't miss anybody. So here we have the six of diamonds. And so I do see Source approving you to move on. Again, 3 and 6 is 9. The numbers are very important. They're just as important as any other energies, right? Because there's a light and dark side to all energy. So the light side of the number 9 is, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to get back to being my high vibrational, motivational self. I just had a moment where I felt like, okay, some loved ones, something played a role in somebody's self-esteem being low, or somebody, because the sword cuts both sides. Maybe somebody said that you caused them some kind of a loss, or you may have said they caused you some kind of a loss. Something happened where it was just very toxic. I mean, it was just getting even more unhealthy. And the reason I know that is because, like I said, the 2 zodiac signs that's attached to this. Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto, which is the planet of death, rebirth. So imagine Source is saying, okay, sever ties with something and move on. Finally, that clean cut. You need to take 2 energies off of your internal scales, because the more and more you talk about it, the more and more it's hard for you to. And you got these two swords right here stuck in the ground, and Source is like, you giving all this power and this authority to somebody else, and you can take your power back. Stop talking about it. That's how Source wants somebody to do. So anyway, here we also have the King of Wands. You have a lot of ideas about both your personal and your professional life. So Source is saying, why waste your ideas on 2 energies, 2 other types of energies, where there are 2 people, 2 places, 2 things, a person and a place, a thing and a whatever. Source is saying you got all these great ideas that's going to help you earn more money. So I mean, I can't say it any plainer or any clearer than that. Source is saying anything you put your hands to is going to be like the Midas touch, and it's going to prosper. So if it's 2 situations in particular that's been causing a major distraction in your life to a point of burnout, and you going to see a psychic or someone else, a reader, a psychic, a medium, or whomever, Source is saying at some point you are being disobedient to your purpose, and that's when you see the card, the Tower card, come out. So anyway, here we have the but in this vulnerability, and I said this to you all before, vulnerability is your strength, Leos. In this vulnerability, you are covered. So if somebody says, okay, I need to finally walk away from somebody, what if somebody else comes back and they do something else? Source is like, this is where faith is going to have to step in. You're divinely protected. So anyway, here we have the Ace of Spades and also the King of Spades. Again, you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. You have a like both on as far as this masculine energy in your air, talking about your thinking and your thinking and you're talking about something, and also your spirituality, and also in terms of where you need to take action. It has to be forward movement. That's why you have these cards right here, getting on your horse and moving forward and leaving all of that stuff behind. And that's why Source is saying, hey, look, if you are obedient to Source and you move on beyond something, I'm going to speed up everything for you, speed up your blessings for you. Because you got to ask yourself, what is the motive? Why these particular things? Why can't I why can't I move beyond something, right? What is it that I just can't wrap my head around it? And part of it is because of your spiritual gifts. It makes all of us who have accepted those gifts super sensitive, right? Super sensitive, which is a gift all into itself. But yeah, that's what it is. Let me give you the questions for the moon in Virgo, since the moon is in Virgo. Virgo is a very meticulous zodiac sign. We're not talking about any Virgos that you know, whether you like Virgos or don't, or even if you're on the cusp of Virgo, because I'm talking to you if you have Leo anywhere in your birth chart. Virgo is a very meticulous zodiac sign. They're a perfectionist sign. They want to get it right. And just with the fact that they want to get it right within themselves, is that makes them move mountains, because they want to get it right within themselves. So they're not always at the highest frequency. They're not necessarily looking outside of themselves or what's wrong with everybody else. They're looking at themselves, like looking at their family, bloodline. They're looking at, okay, what can I do to break generational cycles, chains, and curses within my own family? And I can't be worried about what's going on with everybody else, right? And so that's what Source is trying to tell somebody, is just like when the whirlwind of activities is over and that moon moves into Virgo, and you watching this video, the moon will be in Virgo. It's time for you to slow down and focus. Virgo is a feminine energy. It's like Gemini, it's ruled by Mercury. This is Mercury card right here. So Source is saying you're getting a lot of information that's coming through about your journey. And because you see all this fire right here, this is spirituality. Somebody comes from a deeply spiritual, highly gifted family, right? And here we have 1111, I am awakening, right? So the universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed in helping you to wake up to who you truly are. Yeah, to wake up to who you truly are. And so here are the questions here. The first question is, are you ready to define what you no longer need or want with the practical and objective eye? The second question is, can you define what's yours to fix and what's not in your life? The third question is, do you feel any fear around being fully self-sufficient and independent? Fourth question is, how could you learn more from nature? And then last but not least, Leos, is could you share your free time and your energy in a valuable and charitable way? Somebody is highly spiritually gifted, and I've been seeing this in your cards for quite some time. And so now it's time to tap in. For real, it's time to detach from whatever's been burning you out, causing you to get upset, talk negatively about something. It's time for you to take your power back without the energies you feel like caused the problem in the first place. Here we have affirmations for freedom. I am free to be me fully. I am free to be me, period. I am free to live fully. I am present in this moment. I am not bound by my circumstances. I am stronger than fear or doubt. I have the power to create a new reality. Yeah. That's what I have for you, Leos. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all on Motivational Monday. Bye.